What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? Happy Monday. Hold on, y'all. Gotta finish putting my Invisalign back in my mouth. Hi. All right. As you can see, I put together a little something for the merch. Now, I didn't. The link is in the bio or in the description box. I do have it in the chat, and I will link it in the chat. I do have an update though. Danny is now on Etsy. So if you guys have ordered off of Etsy, it's on Etsy, and I'm gonna give you guys her Etsy information. But hey, happy Monday to you all. Let me get in here. Let me pin the comment, and then we're gonna get this party started, you guys. Because look, y'all know that's all y'all want to talk about, child. That's all y'all want to do is talk about what had happened down to the. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? Oh, okay. Y'all just want to know what had happened down to the Kandi Speak on it, which I'm sure most of y'all have already seen the Speak on it because it already has 200,000 views. She had 14,000 people in her chat last night when she went live. Y'all just want to hear what I got to say. And that's okay. We about to get this party started. Sorry, y'all. Oh, shoot. Please hit the like button. I'm getting ready to pin this comment, share this out, and then we are going to get it started. I had to go get my nose shot. I listened to it last night before I went to bed, and then I had to listen to it again today so I could make sure that I could hit all the parts that I wanted to hit. Let me say hi to my people. Lemon Kush, what's up? Hey, Andrea. Hey, Naturally, what's going on? Tierra, Sam J, Shantia, what's up? Nicole Stevens, Sharice. Hey, Keisha. Hey, Von Love. I said Von Loves. Von Vibes. Hey, Von Vibes. How you doing? Brandon, what's up, Cams? Hey, Boo. Sharon, what's going on? Miss Bake Thing. Hey, Montrez, what's going on? Sharon, hey. DMV, pulls up a chair. Come on, pull up a chair. Really, I want to hear what you have to say about Carlos' interview with Coco. I have not looked at the whole interview. I do know that he addressed Kandi a little bit. Some kind of, somehow, some way, some, I didn't watch her speak on it. I knew you would bring us the highlights, and thank you. Yeah, because her speak on it was long yesterday. Kandi was and I understand she was probably upset. I understand she was probably like wanting to make sure she got everything out. But Kandi was sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? What people say I do over here all the time. Just ranting or going. It was for a little while. I was like, okay, Kandi, we got it, we get it. But I understand when people are lying on you, or when you feel like people are lying on you, and you feel like you got to clear your name. And a lot did happen this week. Rambling. Thank you, Cams. That is the word I was looking for. I feel like she was rambling for a little bit. Now, there is a part that I am going to let y'all hear. Y'all know I don't really like playing people's stuff, especially stuff off of YouTube because, people flag your channel and all of that. But I do want y'all to hear towards the end where she's sort of addressing some things as it relates to Tasha. Yeah, she was a little long-winded last night because the speak on it was over an hour. It was like an hour and 10 minutes. And that's not her normal stilo. Like, she usually get in and get out. She does have an upcoming interview. She said she's interviewing Nick Cannon soon. That's one of the things that she addressed. And I'm gonna go ahead and just say this because to me this wasn't a big deal. And I think when people don't watch you and they don't know what you do on your channel, it's easy for people to be like, oh, well, she does da-da-da-da-da. So one of the attacks this week, which I didn't even hear this, was that she created Speak On It just so she could talk ish about the show. Child, she's been doing Speak On It for about 3 years now. She started, now I will say that in my opinion, this is my opinion, I will say that she started Speak On It so she could respond to things that were going on her shows. I will, in my opinion, I do feel like because she did do Candy Coated Nights and she did do some other things on her YouTube channel before. But she's been very consistent with her Speak On It. And generally, she does speak on it during Real Housewives of Atlanta. She did it during Kandi and the Gang. She does do interviews that are outside of her shows. But for the most part, most of her Speak On It are addressing. So I'm not going to say that she created the show to specifically address this in situation, but I do feel like she created Speak On It so she could address the reality shows in general, if that makes sense. Y'all, I bit my tongue and it hurting. It hurting. You know how you don't even really bite it, you just kind of nip it? Oh, God. Anyway, sorry, y'all. Hey, Jay, what's up? Tracy, what's going on? Kandi been doing Speak On It since season 11. Right, so we can go on to season 14 or season 15. So, yeah, she's been doing it for about 4 years. Somebody said 4.5 years. Right. So for people who are attacking her saying, oh, this is new. No, it's not. It's not new. Now, again, SWE is mad about it. But again, that tells me that y'all don't really know Kandi and y'all don't really pay attention to all the things that Kandi does, which you don't have to. But you can look at the history of the channel and know that it's been around longer than 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Like she just passed 600,000 subscribers. Like you don't get 600,000 subscribers. I mean, some people can, but 600,000 subscribers, even for a celebrity, is a lot. And on YouTube, it's a lot. It's a lot to build up to that. So I didn't realize that was some criticism that people were going about saying, but there's the criticism. I believe it too, and she should. People on the internet have gotten too comfortable talking crazy with people and not expecting a response. You know, I'm going to say this, and I've said this before, so I'm not going to backtrack on my opinion because I still feel the way I feel. I do not like when people review the show that they're on. I don't like it. I'm entertained by it though. And that might be a hypocrite. That might be the hypocrite in me because I am entertained by it. Like I love watching Dr. Heavenly's reviews of Married to Medicine, but I don't really listen to her reviews to find out about how she feels about the show. I really listen to see what tea she gonna spill. And that's why we look at Kandi, right? Kandi isn't really giving us a sit down play-by-play of every scene. Kandi is like, let me tell y'all what y'all don't know. Let me put some things in perspective. Let me give y'all the backstory. Hey, Name. So I honestly feel like I don't like Carlos King. I don't like that he reviews his own shows. Like, why? I mean, not his own shows. I don't know. It's just me. Maybe it's me not wanting him to infringe on my space. I don't know. But I feel like, child, y'all got me. See, this is what people be complaining about. I got a comment today telling me, you get off subject too long. I can't watch you. Bye. I said, bye. But I do get off topic. Let's get back to this. Hey, Art World, Dr. Heavenly reviews funny as hell. Right. And so I do enjoy watching it because she gives the tea, child. Yeah, doctor, if you want to know anything, Dr. Heavenly is going to give it to you, okay? And I don't know how she's been allowed to keep doing it because she be telling stuff I know she ain't supposed to be saying. I know she ain't supposed to be saying. But I be right this every time. I be like this. Ooh. She be telling it. She be telling it all. Speaking of Married to Medicine, I meant to do a video about this, but I never did get around to it. Did y'all see where Quad said she ain't signed her contract yet? They've already been filming. So does that mean Quad ain't coming back? Because they've already been filming. That's going to be very interesting to see how that happens. That's going to be very interesting. So Kandi did her Speak On It last night. Now she addressed a few things. I already talked about one thing that she addressed, which was people saying that she started Speak On It just so she could talk ish. Okay, so that's the first thing she sort of addressed. That was the one thing that she sort of addressed. But let's start with I'm gonna start with the SWV stuff because then we're gonna talk about Tamar, and then we're gonna get to Tasha. Okay, that's the order we're gonna go. Now that's not the order that she did it in, but that's the order we're gonna do it in. Okay, Kandi is being disrespectful, in my opinion, towards SWV. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. I have mixed opinions. I have mixed opinions. And like I said last week, I just feel like that's a conversation that management should have handled. I don't think that either one of them should have had that conversation. And I understand people were like, well, Xscape didn't have management at the time. Okay, but I still don't feel like that was a conversation that they should have been having. But that's my opinion. I'm not in business. Hey, Patricia Moore with her Statue of Liberty. Okay, girl. Okay. So anyway, trying to do something, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to multitask. So Kandi, so let's get on the SWV thing. What's up, Doc from DC? Hey, everybody coming in. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. I appreciate you guys. It is a free way to support the channel. You know that helps me get in and stay in the algorithm. Y'all know that I've gotten a lot of new subscribers over the last couple of weeks, and I thank you. If you are a new subscriber, if you are new to the channel, I thank you so much for being here. I hope you like it, and I hope you stick around. But that's the way that I stay in the algorithm, and people can keep finding my channel. And so for that, I thank you guys. Thank you for the super chat, Jalen Fulton. Hey, boo. This is the messiest ever. However, I'm glad Kandi responded to it. I'm kind of glad Kandi responded as well because it does put things in perspective. It puts a lot of this information in perspective for us. All right. I was doing a poll, and I meant to do it before we got started. Okay. Thank you for the super chat, my love. Okay. Appreciate you so much. Okay. I prefer, Xavier said I prefer Carlos. What? I prefer Carlos reviewing his own shows rather than still harping on Bravo shows. I don't want him to do either one. Okay, I'm going to say this and then we're going to get back to Kandi. I don't like Carlos when he reviews Bravo because I feel like he really has an axe to grind with Bravo, and I feel like a lot of his criticism isn't coming from a pure place. I think he's just ready to hate. No matter what they do, it's never right. And I don't like him reviewing his own shows because I'm like, you're the fucking EP. Like, what you gonna do? Like, you're the EP. I don't like it. Okay. Anyway, reviewing shows is big business. It can be. There's some people making a lot of money off reviewing shows, child. Y'all don't really watch my reviews like that, but that's okay because I like doing it, and I'm gonna keep doing it until I stop liking it. Thank you, Doc from NC. I appreciate you, my love. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you for the support. He kept trying to bake Coco today. I haven't looked at the whole video. All right, so let's start with Kandi addressing the SWV controversy this week. I feel like I just sum all that up in a nutshell. Kandi said, listen, at the end of the day, I'm a businesswoman. And sometimes in business, you have to be uncomfortable. Sometimes in business, you have to ask the uncomfortable questions. You have to put the things out there that doesn't make everybody feel comfortable, but it has to be discussed. Like, money makes people feel uncomfortable, but we got to talk about the money. She said, and I'm not going to apologize for that. Like, I'm not going to apologize for being a businesswoman and trying to get the best deal for me and for my group. Now, what she did say was that they had the conversation, which is what I said, that they had the conversation, and they all felt the same way, yet they let her hang out there on that limb by herself. Now, that is a part that I would have been looking at Tiny, Tamika, and Latasha sideways about, because if y'all had the conversation behind closed doors and they had the conversation off camera, then y'all should have her back when she brought it up, because it did make it look like Kandi was the only one that felt that way. Now, the rest of them didn't say anything, yes, no, maybe, but it did make it look like Kandi was the only one that was offended, right? Or not offended, but had a problem with it. Kandi said they were talking about doing a tour. She said for one show, she didn't have a problem with the co-headlining. She said, but the conversation was a tour. Now, it ended up being dwindled down to just a show, but they were talking about doing an actual tour. Her thing was, if we're talking about doing a tour, then we got to handle a tour, because that is a lot of money. A tour can potentially make us millions. So we do have to handle the money up front. We do have to figure out the price point and who's going to do what and what the roles are going to be before we go somewhere. We got to figure that out. And I do agree with her on that one. Right. She agreed in the confessionals, but she didn't say nothing. Now, to Tiny's credit, Tiny did come down to social media after the show aired. But in that moment, you really left Kandi hanging. Now, the one thing I will respect is Kandi was like, I'm never going to apologize for trying to get the best deal for me and for my team. I'm never going to do that. And I can respect the hell out of that, especially as a woman in business and especially as a Black woman in business. Negotiating ain't a problem. And she even said that. She said, listen, it's a negotiation. She said, that was my starting offer. We could have negotiated and figured it out, and we could have met somewhere in the middle. But they just stopped talking. They were like, oh, hell no. And they got up from the table. Her thing was, that was my opening offer. We think we should headline. Y'all didn't counter with nothing. Y'all just said, hell nah. And y'all walked off and said, we sold 35 million records. F it. Now, from that perspective, I understand her point. I'm not saying I agree or disagree, y'all. I ain't saying I agree or disagree, because I know people in the chat aren't necessarily agreeing with that. But I'm telling you, once she said it, I heard her. Once she said it, I heard what she was saying. Now, I still don't think that was her conversation I had. I still think that that's management. And if they didn't have, and I know that this was all for a TV show, y'all, but let's take the TV show aspect out of this for a quick second. If they did not have management, then the conversation shouldn't have happened. In my opinion, that is what you pay a manager for. That is their absolute job, is to negotiate and get bookings. Like that is why are you paying a manager 15% if they're not doing any of that? But I know we're making a TV show. I get that. I absolutely get that. Her justification, again, people don't have to agree with her justification. People don't have to agree with her justification, but that was her justification. Again, in order to negotiate, you got to walk in the door with something. I could go down to the car lot with my car, and in my mind, it's the best car in the world. Anybody would be lucky to have this car. So when I go in to negotiate a trade-in, I mean, I know we go by Blue Book value. I'm just using an example. So when I go to negotiate a trade-in, the Blue Book might only say it's worth $5,000, but I'm going to say, yeah, but I put a brand new, GPS system in it. And yeah, I put the wax I use is top of the line wax, and it's never been in an accident, never had a fender bender. So you want to try to negotiate the best deal. Now the dealer is going to look at me and say, okay, the Blue Book says $5,000, and we go by the Blue Book. Sorry, you wasted money. You put too much extra on your car, and you outpriced your car, right? So for Kandi to be like, I walked in the door, and my idea was we should headline, and my reasoning that we should headline is because we have more social media followers, and we are bringing more fans, and our music is, people are sort of rediscovering our music, and we're in more demand because we haven't been touring for the last 10 years. People haven't seen Xscape in a long time. We're bringing more to the table. I think all of those are great negotiating points. That doesn't mean you get that. That doesn't mean that that's the point that wins in the end. But Kandi's thing was, I walked in the door thinking we were getting ready to negotiate. And their response was, hell no, we done. Now, she brought up the Salt and Pepper show. And I reviewed that show here on my channel. You can go look at the old reviews. Her point is valid about that. She said they did the same thing with the Salt and Pepper show. And they did. They did. SWV did the exact same thing. The minute Salt and Pepper started talking about they felt like they should be the headliner, Coco tapped out. Coco was like, F that, and I'm out of here. Now, granted, to Coco's defense, she was going through a divorce at the time, and she did have a lot of other things that she was dealing with. She was going through a divorce, and she had to keep flying back to Virginia because she had court dates and stuff. So to her defense, she had other stuff going on. But the minute Salt and Pepper were like, yeah, we feel like we should be headlining, Coco was like, yeah, I'm out. How you gonna negotiate money in the gym room sitting in that circle? Listen, I ain't saying I'm agreeing. I'm just giving y'all the facts, how I see the facts. I'm just telling y'all how I see the facts. And listen, I told y'all last week, I'm telling y'all today, I'm gonna keep telling y'all. I don't feel like they should have been negotiating anything amongst themselves. I feel like it should have been management. I don't feel like they should have been negotiating a damn thing. That's my opinion. Okay? All right. So she addressed that now. She said she don't have no beef. She no disrespect. She don't really have no disrespect. She's not disrespecting. Any of that. She said that she loves SWV and blah, 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 blah. All the politically correct stuff she was supposed to say. She addressed the fact that Akbar got involved, and she was like, why? I told her don't do that, stay out of it kind of thing. But ultimately, that was her point on that. So I'm going to get that out the way, like I said. And I see that, everybody ain't got to agree, and that's cool too, as far as that's concerned. Now, let's get into this Tamar situation. Child, let's get into this Tamar situation. Please hit that like button if you have not. I think we've about almost at 200 people in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, take a seat. We still got some seats down in the front area. I don't know, the front row might be full. The front row might be full, but you can get a good one in the second row. I think second row center is still open. Second row center is still available, okay? Xscape's manager was not there. They didn't have a manager. From my understanding, they didn't have a manager at the time. But their manager was not there. But SWV's manager was there. We only have 91 likes, y'all. Can we get to 150 likes? We got 184 people in the room. All right. Business deal logistics are done and worked out in strip clubs. Child, they do business deals on the golf course, on the subway. Child, on the back of napkins, like you said, from the script club. All right, now let me get to my notes, child. Let me get to my notes because I want to make sure I give it all to y'all. Hold on, let me see. SWV. Let me make sure I gave y'all a note. She didn't mean to disrespect. No problem speaking up for herself. Businesswoman speaking for the group. This gets back to when we talking about Latasha though. That goes back to Latasha. Okay, that goes back to Latasha because she's talking about how Latasha hadn't spoken to them, so she shouldn't have been the one to come in and say, "Well, we're just going to do a co-headline tour." Because she said, "Hell, Tasha wasn't even speaking to them at that point." She decided she's going to speak for the group. But we'll get to Latasha in a minute, child. Man, that's a whole situation, child. All right, Tamar. Look, in my opinion. You will let you on the second row, but you hear, okay, boo. Yeah, the white guys were SWV management. Yeah. Xscape just announced they're doing a tour where they are headlining by themselves. Let's see if they will fill those seats, because I doubt it. They'll fill seats. Now, is it going to be a sold-out show every night? Probably not. But they'll fill the seats. They're coming to D.C. next weekend. They're coming to Capital One Arena April the 1st. I would go if I was going to be in town, but I ain't going to be here. I ain't going to be here, child. Okay. We're going the right way. Okay, Tamar. Let's get to the Tamar, okay? Kandi said that her issue with Tamar was not the Dish Nation interview. She didn't have no problem with what Tamar said. She said she understands that when people going to ask the questions and they trying to get messy, they're trying to get you to say stuff. She didn't care about that part. She said the part that she cared about was what Tamar doubled down on her social media. Now, shout out to Bondi Blue, because when I was looking at Bondi Blue's video the other day, she actually found, remember I kept telling y'all that Tamar had said on her story something about lies, or she said that she believed Carlos, or Carlos didn't have no reason to lie. Remember, I couldn't remember the exact quote, but I know, remember I told you, I knew she had said something on her Instagram story. Well, shout out to Bondi Blue, because Bondi found it. Or maybe Bondi still had it in her archive, child. But here it is right here. I took a screenshot of it, child, so I got it from Bondi, okay? Oh, boy. I got it in here somewhere, child. Where I put it? Is this it right here? Maybe I didn't screenshot it. Maybe I did screenshot it, y'all. I thought I had screenshot it. Maybe I didn't. Oh, there it is right there. Yes, I did. Here it is right here. Tamar said on her Instagram, my friend, this is exactly what she said. My friend at the Carlos King, who don't have to steal nobody's nothing. I love you. I'm going to read it one more time. My friend at Carlos, she added Carlos King, who don't have to steal nothing from nobody. And that's it right there. That's from her actual, you see it's her verified account. Tamar Braxton, verified. And this was before Elon Musk was just giving anybody a verified mark. This is her Instagram. Yeah, Xscape's concert is going. Now they can't tour by themselves. No. There are other acts on the show, absolutely. So Kandi said that what happened, she said now before they even saw each other at the show, at this particular concert, Tamar had already unfollowed her and blocked her. So she said she was already blocked. Tamar had already unfollowed and had blocked her. So in Kandi's mind, okay, we ain't cool. Like, you done unfollow me, you done block me, we ain't cool. She said, now this is Kandi's side of the story. She said she saw Tamar. She spoke to Tamar. No beef. She said, but then Tamar got upset because it wasn't more. Now, if you go back to Tamar's story, she said that. She said when she saw Kandi spoke, and she felt like it was stank. And she was like, dang, no hug, no nothing. So that part of the story is parallel. Kandi said she saw Tamar, she spoke, but she didn't give her nothing extra. It was like, hey, girl, and she was going to keep it moving. Tamar was like, dang, that's all I get? And Kandi said that is when she told Tamar, well, you know, I got a problem with you. I didn't appreciate the way you handled the Carlos situation. Like, I don't have no reason to lie on him. You don't know the whole story. And for you to put it on your Instagram, I mean, I wasn't there. I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm just saying this had a conversation, you know. Kandi said that the conversation, it did get heated. She said, but they were literally standing in the middle of the hallway with people all around them. She said, including her security. So there was people there, and it did get loud. She said there were parts of the conversation that got very loud. There were parts of the conversation that were very calm. She said it was out there like 30, 45 minutes. So this went on for a minute. People saw it. It wasn't nothing. She said people saw it. She said that she was trying to get Tamar to understand why, if they were cool and she was cool with Carlos, why her inserting herself in it was the problem. Kandi's thing was, if somebody asked you, I mean, you were on Dish Nation and they asked you, it was the topic, okay, whatever. But you made a decision to go to your social media and basically say, I was lying, Carlos wasn't, and you chose a side. So at that point, you chose a side. Kandi said it's no different than when you was going through what you was going through with WeTV, How I ain't had nothing to say. I didn't have an opinion. I didn't post nothing. I didn't say nothing. So she said that Tamar kept trying to bring it back to the Dish Nation interview, and Kandi kept telling her, it's not about the Dish Nation interview. It's about what you posted. And I can believe that too, because again, if you listen to Tamar's story, she said Dish Nation. She talked about Dish Nation. She never addressed her Instagram. And I told y'all last week when we talked about it that I know she said stuff on Instagram, because I remember we talked about it here. We did I think we just did it. I just did it as part of a tribe meeting, but we talked about it. So I knew she had put something on her Instagram. Hey, everybody. Right. And then she had unfollowed Kandi right afterward. Exactly. So then Kandi said, she said that she used the example. She said, remember when you went through what you went through with the Real, and you got mad at everybody. Remember when she unfollowed Monica? She unfollowed Latoya. She unfollowed Tiny. These are people that she was friends with in real life. And she unfollowed them because they went on the Real to promote whatever they had going on. And, you know, and Tamar felt like they were being disloyal to her. So she unfollowed them publicly. She didn't privately, because, you know, Tamar don't do nothing in private. She publicly unfollowed all them women that she was friends with in real life, right? Because she felt like they were being disloyal. So Kandi said all of these things came up in the conversation. She said eventually it got to a point where they were literally standing there. They were yelling at each other. It was getting very heated. She said Todd came over, grabbed me. She said Todd didn't grab Tamar. Todd didn't address Tamar. Todd grabbed me and said to me, come on, Kandi, you know what it is. She said Todd wasn't even talking to Tamar. He was talking to me. He said, come on, you know what it is, and pulled me away. She said the same way you've seen him do a million times on the Real Housewives when I'm getting into it with somebody, you see Todd come and pull me away. She said it's the same thing. She said y'all have never seen Todd address these women like that. Todd always tries to pull me away. Now, do we have conversations when the two of us are together and he might be talking a little ish? Okay, you know. But y'all ain't never seen Todd address these women. He always pulls me out of the situation. And she said that's what happened. She said Todd was not addressing Tamar. Todd didn't have nothing to say to Tamar. Now, as far as Tamar and her boo, Mr. JR, who I got some stuff for Mr. JR. But Tamar and her boo, Mr. JR, they had said, he said that yes, when JR saw Todd, he did ask Todd about what happened. And Todd said, he ain't roll up on me with no hood stuff. He didn't roll up on me aggressively. He came up to me and was like, what happened? Like, Tamar said that you threatened her. How did everything go down? And Todd said he told him what happened. He told him he didn't threaten Tamar. He said, I don't have no beef with Tamar. I don't like the fact that Tamar and my wife got into it because I've never had a problem with Tamar. He said, but dude, he said, so all him trying to act like he rolled up on me with some more gangster, that ain't how it went down. Like, it wasn't that kind of party. He did talk to me. We did talk about it, but it was real calm. And nobody raised there. Nobody had no attitude. I told him what happened. He was like, oh, okay, I get it. I understand. It's cool. All right, no problem. And that was the end of it. He said, so all of this, him trying to act like it was all rah-rah, he said, to use the kids' language, that's cap. He said, that ain't how it went down. Now, I'm just telling y'all, we heard Tamar's side of the story. Now, I'm telling you Kandi's side of the story. Now, y'all can choose to believe who y'all want to believe in the middle. But I'm just telling you what Kandi has said, okay? Tamar, fiance for roller coaster ride. Child, she'll be talking about him in a year when they break up. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. I don't wish bad on nobody. I hope they live happily ever after. Tamar always unfollows people. She's so immature. I thought that her mental health issues had grown up, but I guess not. I thought she was doing better, too. I did, too. I really thought she was doing better, too. Now, I picked up a little tea today. I think y'all were Tracy, I think Tracy was telling me about this. I picked up a little tea today over to my boy Conscious TV. He had it posted on his community wall. Let's look at what Conscious TV had on his community wall today, y'all, about Tamar Man. Okay. Now, again, this isn't new information. This isn't new information, but this I'm gonna just bring it to y'all. And this is coming from my boy Conscious TV. Tracy, can you drop his link in the chat for me, please? For those of you who don't know Conscious TV or you're not familiar with his channel, I like Conscious TV. That's my boy. He's been over here. I've been on his channel, all that good stuff. But he put this on his community wall earlier today. Well, Conscious crew, while Tamar Braxton was around here throwing shade at Kandi by stating Kandi must be in an abusive relationship. Oh, that's the other thing. That Kandi said that bothered her, that Tamar would insinuate that there was a abusive relationship going on between her and Todd. She said, as somebody who, Tamar says that she's been in an abusive relationship, or someone who's been through that, why would she put that on me? She said, there's nothing abusive about my relationship with Todd. And for her to put that on me, she was really upset. She said, that is what, out of everything that Tamar said, that's what she said. I didn't care about her saying I couldn't sing. I didn't care about her calling me a Billy Goat. But for her to put that on me, now I didn't hear Tamar say that. That don't mean she didn't say it. But I don't remember hearing that. But let me finish reading what he said. A woman came forward last August who claims to be the baby mother of Tamar's fiance, Jeremy Robinson, who she claimed has a pattern of preying on Black women. In a lengthy series of Instagram posts obtained by Gossip of the City, so you guys can go to Gossip of the City to see all of it, the anonymous ex alleged that Tamar's fiance has a fetish for Black women, to the extent that he often refers to himself as light-skinned or white chocolate and a minority within a minority. She said he routinely frequented nightclubs seeking out beautiful women of color. The alleged ex claims that she found Jeremy to be extremely rude, racially insensitive, degrading, and hands down a womanizer. She also claimed that he cloaks his insidious intentions behind being an ally to people of color and a protector of Black women, while he only desires to fetishize them in the same way white massa did to the slave plantation. Those are his words, not hers. She didn't forget to also allege that Tamar's fiance is a horrible father with horrible communication skills. He lacks parental concerns, and also alleged that he manipulates their daughter by sending screenshots of their adult conversations to the family group chat where the daughter can see the exchanges from their mother to her father. Now, this, like I said, you guys can go and find this on Gossip of the City. But I believe Tracy, my showrunner and producer, I believe Tracy told me that last week as well, that he has a thing with dating Black women. All right, that's just a little side note. Y'all know I be picking up tea. I just got to bring it to y'all when I pick it up, child. All of his children's mothers are Black, so I wouldn't be shocked if that's true. There you go. All right, so, okay, when she left her, I just want to make sure I got all the Tamar notes, child. Todd did not come with any. Okay, I feel like I got all the Todd notes, all of that. Okay, that's all the Tamar stuff. Now, I'm going to say this. Y'all can choose to believe who y'all want to believe, because I just bring y'all the information. Me personally, I'm leaning towards Kandi's version of events only because, one, Tamar, we know you for your words. Two, the story is so similar. The story is so parallel, yet you conveniently left out what you said on Instagram, and you want to keep focusing on this Dish Nation interview. And I believe you probably did the same thing to Kandi, because you did it to us. You tried to gaslight us and act like, because you saw in her video last week, I didn't say anything. I didn't choose any sides. Yet we got it right here in black and white, what you said on your Instagram post. So you playing games. Either you really truly don't remember saying this, or you playing games. And I truly believe she just playing games and she's trying to play victim. He said on the show that he only dates Black women. See, I didn't watch it. Okay. That's funny. Didn't the other baby mama say he was a good father up until he met Tamar? Now, that's true. The other baby mama said he was a good father until Tamar. Oh, he's been. She said they had a good co-parenting relationship. Mm-hmm. She said that. Mm-hmm. Listen, when it comes to exes, and this is no disrespect to anybody in the room that's an ex wife that has children that has to co-parent, an ex-girlfriend who has a child. I don't like the term baby mama so much, but you have a child with somebody and you have to co-parent. When it comes to exes, I tend to want to hear the whole story because people have their own hangups. People have their own issues and their own reasons for feeling the way they feel, right? So she's doing the same as that she did on the Braxton show. I took Kandi's side the moment Tamar said she was a journalist. Listen, Tamar said she a journalist. She said she a journalist. She's problematic. She is. And listen, I reviewed Braxton Family Values. I think the last 3 seasons. So y'all can go back in my archives and find our reviews. But I just couldn't do Tamar on the show. I couldn't. Tracy was always my favorite. You know, rest in peace. Tracy was always my favorite. 5-time Emmy nominated journalist. You better get it right, DMV. That's right, DMV. He said 5-time Emmy nominated. Right. And Lonnie, that's where they really dropped the ball. They dropped the ball by letting us know the ending. They should not have been allowed to let us know they got engaged until I know the show had dropped when we found out, but they should have at least waited a week so people had time to watch it. Like people, when a show drops, you gotta give people time to watch it, especially on places like Netflix and stuff like that, where people have to watch all 10 episodes at one time or 5 episodes or however many episodes it is. So you gotta give people time to do it. Right. So Tamar Man came and spoke after his baby mother made a post, and he didn't deny what she said. He said he put them in the public eye, and he said, "Oh, yeah, we did talk about last week." He said that. Okay, so that's the Tamar Kandi part. And again, you can choose to believe who you want to believe in that story. You believe Kandi, you believe Tamar, you believe it was whatever it was, child. Okay. Now let's get into this Tasha situation. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not gonna say I'm almost over it, but I'm almost over it from the point of view of I'm not gonna say I always believe Kandi's story. I'm not even gonna say I believe all of Kandi's story now, because I think there's always, when somebody's telling a story, they always tell it from their point of view. But what I am going to say is I generally believed Kandi's version of the story for the most part up until now. And now I just feel like it's all being confirmed. Yeah. Yeah. So let's get into the Tasha stuff. Let me see. Is this all the notes on here? Okay. All right. I'm over it until there's some forward movement. No shade to either of those ladies. Yeah, I'm with you too, Angie. I'm with you too. It's 295. Oh, we're almost at 300 people. Let's get 5 more people in the chat, y'all. But if you guys can hit the button, I would really, really appreciate it. It is a free way to support the channel. Thank you to the people who've already sent super chats. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Again, monetary donations are not required, but they are appreciated. But if you can hit the like button, that's a free way to support the channel, because we trying to get to 100. Oh, just see, now we done dropped down. I decided to stay and hit the like button. People just left. But anyway, the number's still going down. Y'all really don't like hitting that like button, huh? Okay. Hey, R&B. I said R&B. Hey, R&B. I'm over Tasha Scott at this point. She's acting like a 2-year-old toddler throwing a tantrum. Kandi is very open and transparent. Her version is usually closest to the truth. And that's why I tend to lean towards Kandi, because I do feel like even when a story doesn't show her in the best light, she tells the story. And that's my opinion. I think they have, Lamone. I think they're done. What Kandi said at the end of her speak on it last night, she said she has no interest in singing with Tasha again. So I think that is a wrap. I think that's a wrap. I don't think we ever gonna see those 4 ladies. And ever's a strong word, but I don't think we ever gonna see them 4 ladies on the stage again. I just don't think that's gonna happen. Now that's a strong. Listen, they would have to take a whole 2-week retreat with Ayanla and about 10 other counselors for them to get to a place where I think they could be on stage again. That's my opinion. Hey, Danny, I saw your text. And I told the people you were on Etsy now. Speaking of which, we got almost 300 people in this room. Let me go on and let y'all know we got merch available. Let me let y'all see the merch real quick, and then we're gonna get into this last part. See the merch real quick, y'all. If it'll play, shoot. Come on. It's not doing it. Why is it not doing it? Y'all know my stream y'all has been giving me such problems. All right. Well, I guess it ain't gonna play. I guess it don't want me to tell y'all about the merch. There you go. Then it came on. You know what? I'm done with this. It came on and went right back off. Anyway, hold on. It ain't long anyway. But the link is in the bio. Yeah, it's short. I'm gonna have to work on a longer one. But candles are available. Tumblers and mugs are available, and the link is in the description box. I think I have it pinned to the top of the chat. Okay. I don't blame her though, because how you shaded me and we in a whole group together, that's not cool. Yeah, we're gonna listen to some of what Kandi had to say in a few minutes. All right, so let's get into the Tasha Kandi situation. You received your mug and your tumbler. Thank you for supporting me in the channel. I appreciate you. Child, these notes. Okay, that's SWV. That's Tamar. Okay, here's Tasha. All right, so let's just start with what we saw last night, and then we're gonna get into Kandi responding to Tasha's little PSA that she put out last week. So the first thing she said was, I told you guys already, when they met with SWV and they made the decision that they would co-headline the tour, the packaging is a little different for the tumblers, but not the cleaner. And the price is also reduced for both mugs and tumblers now that it's on Etsy. Okay, so the price is cheaper now that it's on Etsy. Okay, cool. Thank you. So she said that she was surprised that Tasha spoke up about them co-headlining, because she said at that point Tasha wasn't talking to them. So for Tasha to make a decision for the group when she's not talking, the link is pinned to the top. Is it still pinned at the top? Danny, you can put your Etsy link in the chat. But I thought I had pinned it to the top. Oh, thank you, T. Jones. I love your channel, Really Be. We can discuss without name calling, and you can create space for different opinions. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, y'all don't always have to agree with me, just as long as we're doing it respectfully. Y'all don't agree with me a lot, child. Y'all be coming at me all the time. Cali girl don't agree with me most of the time, but she's still here, and I love her, and I love her supporting my channel. But child, I don't think Cali girl ever agree with me. But she does support the channel, and she is here, and I appreciate it. So anyway, so that was the first thing she said. And she said that she was very proud of Tamika for taking the lead and wanting to be more creative. She said when they were younger, she said Tamika didn't. You know, she said Tamika, I feel like she stopped short of saying Tamika was in them streets. But she said Tamika just let her sister handle everything. And she was cool with, I feel like she was like, you know, Tamika was just cool with showing up and dancing and singing and doing her job. She really wasn't interested in the business side or the creative side. But she said since they've come back together, Tamika has been very active with the creative side. She said Tamika has been very active with the money side. She said that Tamika sits with the accountants and looks at the books and goes over the money. And she said she's been very impressed with how Tamika handles her own money and her own finances. And so she said she was proud of Tamika. Oh, thank you, Dee. Dee said, love your show, Really Be. Thank you so much. Man, thank you for being here. Thank you. That's the link right there. That's the Etsy link right there that Danny just dropped. And Danny is the one that makes the mugs and the tumblers. Yes, I am. Thank you. Yeah, I hit 11K this weekend. Thank you so much. I don't agree about Kandi SWA situation and most Kandi side. When it comes to the Kandi SWV situation, I wasn't on Kandi's side. I'm on Kandi's side with the Tamika stuff and the Tamar stuff, but I didn't agree with how that was handled. But anyway, so I agree. So she said that she's very proud of Tamika. She said, but Tasha was upset because Tasha usually handles the creative side. She usually works with that creative, the guy that was on the show, the creative director. She said, Tasha is usually the one on the phone with him. Tasha is usually the one that deals with him. And the fact that Tamika took the lead and did it, she said Tasha was pissed. She's like, I know Tasha. And Tasha was pissed. Now, what she let us know was that they really only had about 2 weeks to get this together. And Tasha wasn't talking to anybody. She said Tasha wasn't responding to their texts. Tasha wasn't, she wasn't talking to Tamika. She wasn't talking to Kandi. And she normally does communicate with Tiny, but she wasn't talking to Tiny. So the thing was, somebody had to take the lead. And they literally had a couple of weeks to get this show together. So her thing was, how you going to be mad that Tamika took the lead in something you dropped the ball on? Like, if that's you, if you say that you normally handled that and that's normally what you did, then do it. But the fact that the only reason why Tamika had a space to get in is because you dropped the wig. You said, see, I was reading and said wig. I was saying you dropped the wig. You dropped the ball. Right, Tamika said that $30,000 issue won't never happen again. She was a no call, no show. That's right, YBS Mary. She was a no call, no show, honey. Okay, now let's get to the meeting that they had with Coco. She said that the meeting with Coco, she said it got so bad. She said it got so bad that Coco left. She said the tension was so bad. She said she wasn't even like that with Coco. She was steak with Coco. She was like, Coco would say, well, how do you feel about this song? Or do you want to do that song? And she said, Tasha was like, I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I don't know. And to the point where Coco, you saw on the episode where Coco was like, well, girl, why haven't you? Like, why haven't you thought of any of this? And escape responsibility. That's a good one. And so so Kandi said Coco was finally like, well, girl, look, y'all figure it out. This is our set list. These are the songs that I know my group is going to want to sing. Y'all figure it out. Because she said Coco was so uncomfortable that she left. So then she said her and Tamika ended up getting into it. And she said it got bad. She said it was bad. She said, girl, I was in there crying. Kandi, and y'all know when Kandi get to crying, when that voice get the wavering, y'all know Kandi mad. And so she said that she was quiet. She said that she was in there, she was crying, and she said Tasha was sitting there. She said Tasha was sitting there like this, unbothered. She said that the argument was, I'm gonna just tell you some of the highlights. All right, now I'm done with that sheet. I got all the notes off that sheet, so I have to keep figuring out what's what. She said that she accused Kandi of being mean to her mama. Now, I don't know if y'all noticed that in Tasha's confession, and I picked it up last night, but I just didn't understand the context. If y'all noticed last night, I don't know if it was in her confessional or when she was talking to her husband. And she said that, I don't have to put up with people being mean to my mother anymore. And I was like, now how we go from Tamika to people? I did peep that she said that last night on the episode. She said people being mean to my mama. And I'll say, well, maybe that was just her way of throwing her sister in there, right? I don't know. But then she told Kandi that she feels like Kandi should have intervened with Tamika with this whole situation from Vegas. Kandi said, how was it my fault? She said, that was your situation with your sister. It had nothing to do with me. How is it my issue? She said she just always wants to make everything my fault. She's always trying. She said, so she said this came up in the argument. It came up in the argument that she blamed Kandi for basically encouraging Tamika to, I feel like, and this is my opinion, this is me putting words in it. I think she feels like because Tamika has always walked in lockstep behind her, because Tamika has always done what she wanted her to do. I feel like she's blaming Kandi for this change in behavior from her sister, right? I feel like, whether it's true or not, which I don't think is true, I think Tamika just grew up and evolved, and she's a mother and a grandmother and a wife, and she's done business and she's done things outside of Xscape, right? I think she's been able to do things outside of her sister's shadow, and she likes it. So, but she blamed Kandi, right? If she hit her pinky toe, it's Kandi's fault. So Kandi said she was like, "What are you talking about? How did this become my fault?" Then it came up. She said, "Well, you made it seem like you were just throwing us a bone, like you were doing us a favor. You were throwing us a bone." And Kandi was like, "What are you talking about?" She said, "When we did the last show, we did our first show, you made it seem like you were just throwing us a bone." What it came down to was they wanted to do a second season, and Kandi didn't want to do a second season. Kandi said, "I didn't want to do a second season because I didn't think it was good for me. I didn't think it was good for my brand, and it wasn't good for my mental health." She said, "Because me fighting with the women on Housewives is not the same as me fighting with my group mates, people that I've known my whole life, people that I got to work with and go on stage with." She said, "So I didn't want to do," she said, "the ratings were good and we were offered the opportunity to do a season 2, and I didn't want to do it." And so Tasha threw that at her too, like, basically, you basically stopped our bag. You basically stopped us from making more money. And Kandi was like, "But I didn't want to keep doing the show." Now, it's funny because Taj did a live last night. I wasn't able to capture it, but I watched it on another YouTube channel today. And Taj said that too. She said that's why they stopped doing their reality show, because she said it kept us in a constant space of anger with each other. She said because we had to constantly argue to keep the storyline going. Because nobody want to watch a show with us getting along. Nobody want to watch a show with us happy. Nobody want to watch a show with us making money, right? They want to see the drama. And so she said their relationship got a lot better when they stopped doing the show. Because they didn't have to maintain this anger. Thank you, Ray Mel Burton, for the super chat. I mean for the super sticker. Thank you. Right, like Natasha did when it was time to negotiate their album, right? Exactly. So Kandi was like, "Yeah, I did." So, I mean, if she's trying to say I stopped her bag because of that, then I guess I did. But I didn't want to keep doing it. I didn't want to keep arguing with them and fighting with them, She said, because I felt like eventually it was going to lead to us no longer working together, performing together. And she said, "Look at what's happening. I was right. Look at where we are now. Tasha don't perform with us anymore. We put more of our business back out on the street." She said, "So I was right." Xscape's issues are twofold. They are personal and business problems. I agree. And Kandi said we're going to find more out about the business side in the next 2 episodes. Now, she said that the editors took all of that out, just like the editors cut out the argument that Kandi and Tasha got into at Tiny's house, because that argument, they didn't show any of that, but Kandi and Tasha actually got into an argument when they were at Tiny's house, and the argument between her and her sister actually was a lot worse than what we saw. But the editors took it out because I think they really were trying to keep this to SWV Xscape thing. But Xscape just got so much damn drama, it was hard, right? But they said that they didn't really want to show too much of stuff that didn't play out on camera. So whenever Tasha would bring up old stuff or stuff that happened in the past or whatever, they would edit all that out because they were like, it's too much for the viewers to kind of follow. It's too much for them to follow because it's too much backstory that has to be explained. So a lot of those arguments didn't make it. But Kandi said they got into a really bad argument in the studio. Okay. Didn't want to do another show, perform without her. Okay. Kandi addressed the shows that they did this summer where, no, not this summer, the shows they did last year where they performed without Kandi. The first show, she said, and then Tasha said that, Kandi tried to stop their bag about that. So Kandi explained that. Kandi said, because now she's addressing some of the things that Tasha said in her video. So Kandi said, because I think that was the only thing from the show. Well, okay, let me just go through my notes, child. Let me go through my notes. It is too much for 6 episodes. They really should have made this 10 episodes because I feel like they had enough for 4 more episodes. But anyway, child. They probably didn't have enough SWV footage for 4 more episodes, but they damn sure had enough Xscape footage. So Kandi explained that last year they were supposed to do a show in South Carolina. Her and Tiny both got the Roni wrong. Kandi said, I didn't even know I had it until I got there. She probably, until they tested her when she got to the venue, is when she found out she was sick. And she said they ended up not doing that show. But then they came back to Atlanta, and, you know, Tiny and Kandi was still sick. They still couldn't do the show. And the sisters decided to perform without them. And Kandi said, ain't nobody called me and asked me my opinion, because if they had called me, I'd have told them that was a bad idea, that we just need to postpone the show when all 4 of us could perform. But they decided to go and do the show without us anyway. Now, Kandi said that, she said they weren't talking to her. They were talking to Tiny. They told Tiny that they would still be paid for the show. Now, I personally don't feel like they should have been paid for the show, but that ain't my business. But she said that they were still going to be paid for the show because the conversation was, well, they sold the tickets based on Xscape, not Tasha and Tamika. And so a lot of people that are there because they want to see Xscape. And so we're going to still split the money 4 ways because we wouldn't even be making the money. We would have had to cancel the show altogether. Blah, 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 blah. Not where they go, who they going to run to. Just drag and smoke you. I'm crazy. So when they did the show and they got paid, Tasha said, oh, no, we're not going to pay y'all. We're going to split the money. Me and Tamika are going to split the money. We're not going to pay y'all. Now, Kandi's thing was, Tiny, you told me we were still going to get paid. What's up? And Tiny was like, oh, hell no. Thank you, Miss Bay Thing. She said she just purchased the mug. Thank you for supporting me and for supporting my little sister who was doing the mugs. She said, she was like, wait a minute, hold up. How you going to make a decision? You told us you were going to pay us. So Kandi said she didn't even call Tasha. She said she didn't call Tasha. She didn't call nobody. She let Tiny handle it since that's who talked to them. So she said that, you know, she talked to Tiny and Tiny said, listen, either I'm going to get my money or we ain't doing no more shows. We ain't doing no more shows unless I get my money. Tasha blamed Kandi. Tasha said, you know, you were trying to stop our bag. You was threatening to not do any more shows unless you got paid from that show you didn't perform on. Now, Kandi's thing was, I was just going by what Tiny told me had happened. Tiny told me we was going to get paid, and I was just trying to get my money. Tiny was the one that said she wasn't performing no more, and I had her back because that's my girl. So if Tiny say she ain't performing, then I ain't performing. Like, that's my girl. But somehow it's Kandi's fault. She said, you ain't mad at Tiny. You mad at me. You ain't mad at Tiny. You mad at me. Then, of course, we got the whole record deal. Kandi said all this before. I'm not going to repeat that. Y'all know Kandi said before that it's just very deja vu of what happened before, that, you know, they didn't know nothing about the record deal. They just knew she wasn't showing up. She wasn't talking to them anymore. She wasn't showing up for rehearsal. They didn't even know that she had signed the actual deal. She knew what Taj told her, but they didn't have any details. They didn't know anything more than what Taj had told them. Okay. I'm almost done, y'all. I've been talking for an hour. I'm almost done, child. She said that she ain't never asked Rocky to be their damn manager. That's a whole lie from the depths of hell. Remember, Tasha tried to say that Kandi wanted Rocky to be their manager. She said that's a lie. And the truth ain't in you. She said, I ain't never asked Rocky to be our manager. I never, ever, ever asked Rocky to be our manager. She said you're gonna find out in the next 2 episodes that they get more detail into the last 2 episodes about that. Shout out, we cannot get over 300. We got the 299, and then the number started going back down. But shout out to the 293 in the chat. If you could please hit the like button, I would appreciate it. If y'all can hit the like button, thank you so much. You're always on my mind. See, now I got that song in my head. Oh, shoot. What am I looking for? Oh, okay, never mind. All right. Tasha gonna go to the same place nowhere. The poll is flawed. Todd is missing. I'm always on Todd's side. Rocky was their manager at one point, but Tasha said that Kandi wanted him to be, or Kandi asked for him to be. And Kandi said, I ain't never asked for him to be our manager, child. The problem originally seems to be JD and his label. He caused discord on purpose so he wouldn't have to pay them more. I'm gonna say to a certain extent I agree with that, but I also feel like, oh, we got 187 likes. Could y'all please hit the like button? Can we get to 250, please and thank you? But I also feel like JD underestimated the group. I think he underestimated the talent in the group. I think he did feel like Tasha was the talent. And he was also young. And I think if he had certain things to do all over again, he might do things differently. That's my opinion. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I also feel like if he could do things differently, I think he would probably do things differently. Tasha's album is coming out on Good Friday. Y'all going to pick it up next week. Go on stream it. Y'all go on to stream it. All right. So then we almost done. Then we get to, she told a story about that Tasha said in her video about Kandi crying when she went down to the studio and found out that Tasha was singing lead and that she was crying and she was so upset. And Kandi said, once again, you are confirming the story that I keep telling y'all. That wasn't about me being upset that you were singing lead. That was me being upset that you had already done the song. We had not been invited to the session. Me and Tiny and Tamika, we had not been invited to the session. It was supposed to be an Xscape song for an Xscape album, but you did the song by yourself. And the only reason why they called me down there was to lay my vocal because she said, whether y'all like my voice or not, it's a distinct voice. It's a distinct voice. And so they will put me on the back. They wanted me to do the background so they can make it sound like an Xscape record. And she said, I wasn't even arguing with Tasha. She said, I had spoke to Tasha. I ain't had no beef with her. I was arguing with JD. And yes, I was crying. She said, because y'all know that when I get mad, I cry. She said, I wasn't crying because I was upset I wasn't singing lead. I was crying because I was pissed off. And I was crying. I was arguing with the person who was in charge, which was the management. She said, I wasn't mad at Tasha. I was mad at JD. Because like you just said, this was on him. Now, I'm going to play y'all something. This last little part, I'm going to let y'all listen to. And then we're going to get out of here, child. This last little part of, I'm going to let you, because y'all know I ain't going to play the whole speak on it. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to play it. I remember there was a reason why I said I wasn't going to play it. Yeah, I'm not going to play it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because she plays some Xscape music. She splices the Xscape music in. I was going to play it, but then that's why I said. But let me say this. The last part, you could tell that Kandi was pissed about. The last part she was upset about was the fact that Tasha was clowning her voice. She said, how did you? What's up, Retro? She's telling the truth. I mean, the proof is in the album. Just listen to Tracy. Yeah, if you listen to traces of my listing, you can definitely tell that Kandi ain't lying. Matter of fact, over on Scotty by Name earlier today, we were trying to figure out which song Kandi was talking about, like which songs we could hear her on the background on. But she's not. Again, another reason why I believe so much of what Kandi says, because a lot of this stuff you can just kind of verify yourself. But Kandi was like, she said, it's one thing for people out in the streets to talk about my voice. She said, that's fine. You don't have to like my voice. You don't have to respect my voice. You don't even have to think that I can sing. She said, but at the end of the day, I've made money off my voice. And you have been the beneficiary of my voice. How corny is it for you to be clowning your moneymaker? You're clowning the very thing that is your claim to fame. Xscape, my voice. She said, I sang lead on some of our most iconic hits. She said, now people get mad at me because they feel like I got an ego or whatever. She said, but when I got to defend myself, I'm going to defend myself. She said, tonight, and that's when she was playing clips of the actual music. Tonight, Just Kicking, that's Kandi singing lead. Now, whether you think Kandi can sing live or not, whether you respect Kandi's voice or not, her thing is, I don't even care about other people's opinion. They can clown me. I don't care. But for you to sit next to me on stage and make millions of dollars, she said, since we got back together, we have made millions together. And now all of a sudden you clowning me. Here she go. I'll be clowning you about them tired ass runs. And then she played a couple of clips. Again, I don't want to play the music, y'all. I don't want to get a hit. They say you can't get hit with more than 10 seconds, but child, I don't even want to chance it because I don't want this video to be demonetized, child. But Kandi said, I ain't saying about them tired ass runs. She said, I be thinking it, but I don't say it out loud because I think that would be corny for me to be dogging out my group mate. Like, you're part of my group. We make money together. We are here together. I feel like that would be corny for me to be talking shit about you. And your voice. Yeah, Kandi ate Tasha up. That last 5 minutes that I speak on it, last 10 minutes, baby, she tore her up. She tore her up. And Tasha need to just go on and sit down. She just need to go and sit down because she did. She tore her up. And she said for you to sit there and clown my voice is what makes you money. That's like Coco. Coco has a very distinctive voice. That's like Lily going somewhere and dogging out her voice. Ma'am, that's the voice that makes you money. It is. We hit 300 in the chat. All right, we got 300 in the chat. Hey, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, y'all. And please hit the like button. It's a free way to support the channel. What's up, Remain Teachable? Yeah, it was weak in the knees in the last few minutes. Yeah, the last few minutes of that speak on it. Like I said, I was going to play it, but I remember why I changed my mind. Because she does have the music in there. And see, Kandi can get away with it because she ain't going to flag herself. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't trying to get her. Now, I do want to give y'all this before we get out of here. Y'all know Tamar had to say something. So Tamar did respond. Tamar did respond to what Kandi had to say. So let's talk about what Tamar has said. Ooh, child, my eyes. Tandy said, oh, okay, so this is a tweet. This comes from Instagram. Y'all know if a dude come up and say, you know what it is, when you and his girl are arguing, you would think the same way Tamar did. Hell, even Kandi thought Peter was wrong, and all he did was say they were acting strange. So let's keep it a buck. Kandi said, Todd didn't walk up on her, though, for making up narratives. He was pulling me away. So then Tamar responds and says, at some point, you need to get help for the lies you tell. It really makes no sense at this point. Just own it, apologize, and move on. Y'all sat there and made up a whole skit. It happened. You can't change it. Y'all are bullies, and you just tried to bully someone that don't care. So Kandi responded and said, oh, no, that. Okay. Then there was another one. Y'all know Tamar got to respond, child. So there's another one. Hold on. Somebody said, let the people know your voice, Kandi. Tamar responded, girl, your voice is distinctly ugly. Hashtag speak on that and wrap it up. Tamar, I need you to just put the phone down and walk away. Here's the third one. You're a great singer, but for you to sing so great and the only time people are talking about you is because you're beefing with me, that's a problem. Say it, Kandi. Hashtag speak on it. That's what Kandi has said about Tamar, right? So somebody said, that's a lie, though. Tamar trends by herself. Yeah, for being messy. Tamar said, and her ego is so big that I put my single out on my birthday, Friday, and my show on Thursday. My song was top 3 before Watch What Happens Live. She wished she made me pop. she's so late and corny. I thought Tamar was doing better, y'all. But last week, and she said it was just a moment. She said she sort of had a relapse, and so maybe that's what it was, child. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, she under the comments, and that's when you just gotta walk away. You just gotta walk away. The way I would sue and serve a cease and desist, child. Tamar's antics overshadowed. Right, because Tamar is talented, but her antics. Child. All right, y'all. I'm about to get out of here. Listen, El Teddy just went live. Somebody drop Tracy, drop El Teddy's link in the chat. If you guys are not subscribed to El Teddy, or you guys are not familiar with El Teddy, he is, listen, if y'all not tired of hearing our opinions about this yet, y'all head over to El Teddy's channel, because he is giving y'all the breakdown on the SWV from the episode from last night. And y'all know that he gonna give y'all his opinion. So y'all make sure y'all go check El Teddy out. El Teddy 27. Tracy's gonna drop. Oh, thank you, y'all. Y'all dropped the link in the chat. So y'all go check out my baby bro. I know he's gonna be over there cutting up, y'all. So we're gonna head on over there. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for hanging out. If you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button on your way out of the door. Thank you guys so much. Mwah.